Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday morning. We just left Santee, South Carolina, and we're headed north. And it's a little bit of a rainy day today, and I don't know how far I'll get today. I'm going to go somewhere up into, I think into Virginia, but I'm not sure yet. It just depends on how the weather is, and most of that bad stuff has moved on out, but I'll get another weather report the farther north I go, so I can make sure I'm not getting into something real yucky, you know. And it's a rainy day here. It's about 42 degrees and rain right now. Kiddos are just back there snoozing. We're gonna stop up here in about 20 more miles and fill up with gas before we leave South Carolina, because it's about 30 cents more up in North Carolina, so I want to save as much on the gas as I can. And I guess that's about all for right now. I'll flip the camera around and let you see what's going on in a minute. Once some of these trucks pass me, then I'll flip the camera around. Okay. So yeah, see, there's not much scenery to look at today because it's just kind of wet and dreary. And the wind, it's a little bit windy today, but not too bad right now. I'll be keeping an eye on that too. And I'm not too sure, but I think I may have an issue developing in my with my van, but I'm not sure. It may be nothing, but I'm using it's using a lot more oil and coolant than normal, and it's not leaking it. So that's not a good indicator. But it's running fine. There's no issues so far, you know, with that. So I'm just keeping an eye on it, and I'm very, you know, praying that there's nothing major issue with that, but because I know what that kind of thing can turn into, and I'm really hoping that it's not starting a problem with a head gasket or something. But I'm just gonna think positive, and as long as it's running fine, we'll just keep going. Every time I stop, I check everything, and if it needs filled, I'll fill it. So we'll see what happens. I only have about 600 miles to go to get home. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and say a couple little prayers and I always say a prayer every morning when I get up, you know, and ask the Lord to help us get there safely with no problems, and so far He has, and I just continue to think that that's what's going to happen. So, alright, well, we're going to go up here, we're going to stop at Dillon and get some gas, and then we'll be back on our way, and I'll be back with you in a little while. So I'm just south of Dunn, North Carolina right now. The rain stopped, and I think the wind has calmed down just a little bit, which that's good. I'm going to stop up here at the Loves in about 12 miles and get some gas, and then we're going to make our way up into somewhere into Virginia. And I don't really know how far I'll go today. That will, I guess, depend on the weather conditions. So I'll let you know later on where we end up. But it's clearing up. No rain, which is good. it's a sleepy day. I get sleepy when it's kind of, cloudy and dreary. So I think I'm going to get another coffee up here. I normally don't get coffee after lunchtime, but I think I'll get another small coffee when I stop for gas. Be back later. So far, so good. We've been in rain most of the day. I'm right now in the Richmond, Virginia area on Interstate 295. I'm going to go up here about 30 more miles, and I think I'm going to stop for the night there. And, or at least, stop for a few hours anyway. And so I'll continue this video in the morning. And I was planning on getting home on Friday, but it looks like I can get home tomorrow if all goes well. The weather's cooperating. It's not real bad. So we're doing good. The kids are fat and happy and back there snoring, and we're just driving along. So I'll see you in the morning. I hope you all have a good night. Good morning, everybody. Well, it is Thursday, and I'm home. And what a trip this has been. Oh, I don't know where to begin, but I got to tell you, the last part of it was really hair-raising, and I should have been smart enough to know better. And I don't know, I was just thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, all the way home, I watched the weather, and it was good, and I drove when it was not bad. And so when I left South Carolina, it was raining, and it rained most of the way. And I got up into Virginia, and I tried stopping north of Richmond, to take a nap. Well, I couldn't go to sleep. And then it was so cold, I wasn't even thinking about that. I didn't have a heater in the trailer. So we tried to go back in the trailer and put blankets on top of us and go to sleep for a while. Well, that didn't work. So I said, I'm only 4.5 hours from home. I get up, grab a coffee, we'll go. Roads weren't bad. Virginia did an excellent job of treating the roads. It was just wet. And so on and on, we go up through Winchester, and I'm checking the forecast, and everything's still looking good. And thank you, by the way, to my sweet viewer who kept giving me Winchester road updates. Thank you. That was very much appreciated. And so anyway, I got up through there, and then I got up to Interstate 70 and into Pennsylvania. All was well. And when I got up to Bedford, I thought, I have two ways of going. I can take the short route, which will get me home quicker, but I have to go up over a big mountain. Or I can take the longer route, which is about 40 miles farther. And it's still possibility of some weather, but not really a certainty like the short route. Well, all of the states, even in Pennsylvania, up until that point, had done such an excellent job at clearing the road. So I said, okay, I'm just going to take the short route. Duh, I should have known better. Well, anyway. So I get going up this 2-lane road, Route 56. It goes from Bedford over across the mountain, Pleasantville Mountain, to over into Johnstown. I started up the mountain. It was slushy. It was slippery and slushy. But I was doing okay, not doing bad, until I came behind a tractor trailer, and he was going very slow. He was being very careful. And he was only going about 25 miles an hour. I thought, okay, I'll just stay back behind him and we'll go. Well, you get up there, about starting up the mountain, there is a horseshoe curve. And you have to slow down to 15 miles an hour in good weather to go around this curve. or so the sign says. Well, the truck, he slowed way down, and which means I had to slow down. But he apparently had enough weight to hold him down and keep him going. But once I made it around the curve, it just wouldn't go anymore. It was just spinning and sliding, and I came to a stop, and I could not go. I didn't dare try to, I couldn't, I was stuck right in the middle of the highway. Well, there's 2 lanes going westbound, and then there's 1 lane coming down the mountain going eastbound. And very little traffic, thankfully, because it was like 2 in the morning. So I thought, well, I'll just sit here for a little bit and see what happens. Well, a road truck went by the other way and waved at me, and I thought, well, turn around and come get me unstuck, Well, I'm sitting there for a few more minutes, and I was starting to get a little bit, I was getting a little bit scared, because there I was sitting in the middle of that highway and thinking, boy, if a truck comes down the hill and slides on that slush and that ice, that could be not so good. And just about that time, God is so good to us. He sends people to help us. And I'm sitting there with my hand out the window, just about ready to cry. And I'm less than 30 miles from home. And here comes this fella in a 4-wheel drive pickup truck. Pulls off over in front of me and walks back, and he says, "Look, I have a tow strap. I'll hook it up to you, and I'll pull you to the top of the mountain up where the truck pull-off area is." And I said, okay. So there he is, laying down on the slush and the ice on that highway, hooking up my van, and he pulled me up to the top of that mountain. He pulled me up to the top of that mountain and over into the parking area where the trucks have to pull off to check their brakes before they go down. And he came and he unhooked his strap, and he said, "Look, I'm gonna wait here, and you should be okay now." He said, "I'm gonna follow you until we get out through Ogletown, in case you have problems going up that little grade going out of Ogletown." He said, "And then I'll help you again." That man followed me for the next 15 miles. Even when I stopped at the convenience store, he followed me to make sure that I got in there okay. Isn't that something, huh? And I told him, I said, "I don't have any cash to give you for gas or anything, but if you give me your address." And he said, "No. Nope. He says, "I don't want anything." He says, "Someone helped me once when I was stuck 4 miles out of 4 logging road and thought all hope was gone." He said, "And somebody drove out there and helped me and didn't charge me a dime." He said, "So I'm just returning the favor." And that was so sweet of him. So anyway, that was our adventure. Yeah, Chessie's had a good adventure early this morning. Now, I should have known. I know. I used to drive that road when I was still driving a truck. In fact, I got hung up on that very same hill and curve in a truck one time years ago because of the same reason. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I just thought that the state was doing a good job at keeping everything clear because they had been up until that point. But it all turned out so well. And I'm telling you guys this story because I just want you to remember that sometimes when things look really bad and you're really nervous or really upset and you just don't know what to do next, God is always there with us. He's so good to us. And I can't even remember that fellow's name. I think he said his name was Dave. But what a nice guy. And I'm just so thankful for that. So just remember that when things don't go so good, it always turns out right in the end, And, you know, most of the trip was, was enjoyable. And, so it turned out okay. I'm home. We're safe. I'm going to park my I'm going to unload the trailer, and then I'm going to park it, and I'll start working on it probably in a week or so, and I'll be making videos of that. So thank you guys for coming along on our Florida adventure. I'll tell you, a few hours ago, I was really questioning my sanity for leaving Florida, but it's all good. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll catch you later. I have to go now and get some internet hooked up because I had that disconnected when I left. And I got to get a few other things done, like some grocery shopping today. Okay, I'll catch y'all later. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.